You are tuning in to Jon Pierre and Mary's fun-loving, crazy, and honest podcast.
If it don't smell bad, it must be clean.
Unequally Yoked, where any and every topic, life,
Marriage.
I'll go first because I have something to say.
Uh-oh.
kids, and entrepreneurship are up for discussion.
How does Mary, a pastor's daughter,
And Jon, a guy who rarely saw the inside of a church growing up, get together
No.
and stay together.
We all have roles.
what does life look like 10 plus years into marriage?
2 kids and trying to run a family business.
How do we keep this nest egg from cracking?
What you mean?
Listen in to Unequally Yoked as we dive in to give a man
Next. And a woman's perspective
Somebody back me up on this.
Nobody.
to all the topics married folks are talking about.
Are you ready?
Let's do this, boo.
Hey guys, welcome back to Jon and Mary Unequally Yoked.
on TV.
Listen, now you guys have hounded me and pestered me for the first 4 episodes of Unequally Yoked and was asking to see us, and here we is.
Looking like we always do. She, beautiful.
Well,
Me,
your normal self.
my normal self.
You know?
Live
There
and
it
in
is.
effect.
Yeah, we continuously got harassed, mainly by my family, by the way. Especially my sisters were like, we want to see you. They don't care what you look like. And, you know, Jon threw me under the bus and was telling people why we weren't on video.
This is true. I was.
It's not okay.
It is okay because you need to be seen by the world. You, baby.
Apparently so.
That's the way it works.
So just so y'all know, no pressure. I'm not putting any pressure on myself. It's just today,
Mm-hmm.
I look like a normal person. But there may be days I may come in here looking like somebody else.
Looking like a version of me.
So, well, I don't know if I could ever look like
Hey, is this
I
bad?
just don't care. But there may be days I'm going to always have my eyebrows on, but maybe not lipstick. How about that?
Bam, 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 bam.
Nope, not yet. Not
Okay.
yet.
All right.
But we just want to welcome you guys back. This is our first podcast for 2020. So happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Merry Christmas.
All the things.
Happy 2020.
Yeah.
Let's get it going.
Let's get it going. I don't know if you guys remember from the last episode, we talked about our vision boards. We talked
Yes.
about, overcoming our fears
Yes.
and pursuing our passions.
Yes.
So today we want to talk about something that was brought up by one of our listeners. He asked us, how important is it to find someone that shares the same passion as you?
Right. Shout out to Angelo. Appreciate the question.
Thank you, Angelo. So we are going to jump into that. But first, before we jump into this particular topic,
Mm-hmm.
I want to ask Jon, because I know the answer.
Jig.
We had homework from that last episode, and we've had some time in between. However, the holidays, definitely threw a wrench in everybody's chain.
But one thing we did get accomplished is this office.
We got the off. I mean, it still
needs a little bit of work.
It still needs some
But
work.
it's way better than what it was.
1,000%.
And we
better.
can both work in here. How about that?
I'm just so happy to have a space of my own so he can see. It's like, this is how you should be. Maybe this is not this is clean today.
I was gonna say this is next level.
But I'm not gonna tell your business and say why it's clean.
Cause I cleaned it.
No, because there's stuff in the bathroom. That
Oh
you
yeah, that's
took
right. Yeah,
off your
there's
desk.
stuff.
See, I had to see. You made me shame you.
I'm not ashamed. It is, you know what it is.
Okay, but I'm hoping to motivate you for 2020. Okay, but the homework
Yes.
from the last episode, y'all, just to remind you, was to create a vision board. And we were supposed to create our vision boards and then show them and share them on our social media.
Yes.
Which, by the way, our social media tags are at MaryTJP.
And at Jon Pierre TJP.
Well, you'll be able to see my vision board. Hey, honey, can they see yours?
Yeah, it's right there.
What?
Our 8 values for our family.
Sir, we did that last year. Are you saying that you have the same, you just have like repetitive?
You know, I am a
It's the
very
same.
principled person.
Uh-huh.
I keep the same general principles. Those are my principles, and they are love, support, growth, safety,
That's important.
togetherness, trust, happiness, and most of all, having fun.
There it is. Well, I guess he kind of cheated, but you didn't.
But there is
but you
no
didn't-
vision to that. I will give you. There is no vision to that board.
Right.
That's just a principle. So the answer to your question is no, I did not do my vision board.
Mhm.
But I will get it done, and I will put it up on our social media or on my social media.
Yes.
And we will
See what you come up with. Because
Thank
we
you.
have a lot of magazines, and we get all kinds of newspapers here in
yeah,
this house.
we have a
So
lot of stuff.
So you can either put it up here. You can write it up here if you want to. If you don't have
I'm gonna write
time
it,
to
yeah,
just
for sure.
like cut things down, cut things out of a newspaper or what have you. Or
Mhm.
I even say you can create a Pinterest board.
Oh yeah,
it
we can do that
needs to
too.
be something that you can actually see day to day.
Right.
So, for example, like mine, we'll use this camera here.
Oh, this camera. Okay.
Yes, I put in things that I want to work on.
Oh, this is your vision board.
That's my
Oh.
vision board.
Fancy.
Is I just saw all these words as I was going through the magazines that I was looking at,
Yeah.
and they were literally jumping off the page at me,
I
just
like
like being. It says present and moment, kind of like seizing your moment, and there's like the soul. And I have books. Like, I want to get back to reading books.
Right.
I used to read books all the time. And now it's like life just gets so serious.
Yeah,
and
then
you
I
think,
infected you because I never read books.
no, you did read. I mean, you would read books.
Do I?
You read National Geographic. You do read
Oh,
books.
okay.
It just take you a long time because you only read them on the toilet.
Oh, bam, 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 bam.
There it is. There it is. So
That
but
was a
I-
deserving one though. That's a
Okay,
good
I'm
one.
just saying. Oh, because I put you on the.
Oh, I mean, listen. Every man probably that uses a toilet, which is every man, reads on the toilet. That's just normal.
There's this statistic I saw that
yes.
men spend 30 minutes on average. Average.
Actually, it was 35, wasn't it?
I don't know. I think it was 30. Whatever. It doesn't matter. It's 30 minutes a day
A day.
on the toilet. And I told you
That I'm doing good.
that you are above average.
That's
You
right.
spend more.
Oh no.
Yes, you do. You
think
spend more than 30 minutes
A day.
a day on the toilet.
Hey, it's because my system works.
I'm jealous.
Get on my level.
I'm jealous. So anyway, my vision board just consists of action word, like just reminders.
Yes.
To myself, like beautiful, like just telling myself that I'm beautiful and that I want to be happy. Just really focusing in this year on my mental health, mental awareness.
Yes.
Really just speaking positive words to myself.
Yeah.
You know what
It's a
I
big
mean?
deal. We make our kids
Yeah.
do it, so we
Yeah,
gotta
they
we gotta do it for ourselves too.
Isn't that something? We have them say their words every
Yep,
morning,
every
which
morning.
by the way, we don't even have to ask them to do it anymore, which has become
It's great. It's a beautiful
it's a
feeling.
beautiful thing.
It's great. So there
And
were
Harper, she was putting on her shoes this morning. She's like, "Oh, I forgot my words."
That's right. Go say your words.
Yeah,
I'm so strong. I am so smart. I'm so beautiful. I am a big girl.
yeah. And Grayson's is and the same, but
I'm
he's
handsome.
different. Yeah, I'm handsome.
I'm handsome. I'm so handsome.
I'm so handsome.
I
I'm
am
so
a big boy.
Yeah, I'm a big boy. But he kind of skips past I'm a big boy at the end.
So he skips past some part of it just about every day. But
Well, 'cause
he
he's ready for breakfast.
Yeah, he's 3 for 4 just about on every day. He's 3 for 4. We'll take it for now.
we'll take it. But and we definitely want to dive into like the kids stuff. Maybe on the next episode. But
Yes.
for this one, getting back to Angelo's topic of how important it is to find someone that shares the same passion as you.
Right.
Let's dive into that.
Let's
yo.
dive in. Got on my swimsuit. Got on my shirt. I'm ready.
Those were swimming trunks?
They're not, but I just figured we're diving in. I'd say
Oh,
that.
we dive in. Oh, I meant. Ooh, that went right over my head.
Ooh, that's next level right there.
Okay. So what do you think? Do you think that you have to be with someone who has the same passion as you or maybe share the same values that you do?
I don't know. I mean, I think that, I think part of that is yes and no. I think it's very important that you have some sort of, going back to the phrase of unequally yoked, we're unequally yoked, but we are also quite yoked, right? I think that a lot of it has to do with, we all change over time. So the person that you're with whenever you start off is not necessarily going to be the same person that you're with 5 years in, 10 years in after huge life changes. And so passions and motivation change. It's less about finding someone who has the same passion and maybe sharing or finding someone who has the same general vision, and just being on the same idea of we are always going to be working towards something better.
Okay.
Or working towards something greater, with the understanding that what better is and what greater is change. Those things change, And so like whenever we got together, you were unbelievably, like you were the hardest looking person I ever saw in my life. You would, you had a car that you had to share. You would walk to work or take the bus to work or whatever it is. You were unbelievably hardworking. And so then you had kids and your vision of what hard work changed. It wasn't working for a job. It was working for your kids and making sure that their life is, the best possible life that they can have. And so your motivation changed. And so you put your efforts into something else. And so you didn't have the same drive in terms of pursuing and getting a better and more accomplished job or whatever. It just changed into something different. And so we all go through those things. I went through those things. I wasn't as hard as a worker whenever we first met.
Sure wasn't. Because I used to come to your job late
and watch
at
me
night
just sit there and do nothing.
Well, when you worked, it's just I worked
on my own time.
I didn't put two and two together that he's working late because he's a procrastinator,
right?
And not because because when your nose open and you want somebody to like you, you ignore a lot of
your
signs.
nose is open.
Yeah, you never heard that when your nose wide open. You just,
I've never heard that. That's great. That's
when
hilarious.
You just want somebody to like you so bad, I feel like we miss signs.
Yes.
We miss signals. We miss things, and you don't see it until fast forward however long, and you move in with that person, and you get to see them every day, and then it becomes a problem because it's like, wait a minute. God, man, you can't do nothing on time.
Time.
You take it personally.
Right. You think it has something to do with you.
It was always there.
It was,
I just didn't realize it until really last year that I had to go back into time and be like, you know what? Now that I think about it, A, B, and C. So here's my question about, when you talk about values and things like that.
Yeah.
Do you feel like when you decide to be with the person that you're going to be with, is it important, knowing what we know now? We know that change is inevitable.
Yes.
Right?
100%.
Remember when we did our premarital counseling, one of the things they asked us to do for homework was to create a mission statement for our future and for our home and put it up somewhere. Which, by the way, we're 11 years in and we still haven't done our mission statement.
Oh,
that should be our next homework assignment. By the way.
Oh, I thought it was going to be a DJ horn.
No, we'll table that.
Okay.
But I mean, the creating a mission statement or creating like even goals, like sitting down and talk about what your vision is for your future, so that even though you're with somebody who may not be the same as you or have the same beliefs as you, at least you know that you're working towards the same goal.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I wanted to ask you, what are the things that are different about you and I?
Oh, what are things that are different? Well, I mean, number one, we came into with two totally different versions of religion and what God is. That's number one. That's probably the biggest thing. Like just thinking off the top of my head. Secondly, whenever we first, you're talking about the beginning, right? Like whenever we first came together, or even now.
Yeah, I mean, just so thinking about when someone goes on a first date, for example.
Yeah.
They're looking for the things that they have in common with that person.
Yeah.
Right? Is that because it's been a long time since I had a date?
Oh.
Okay.
That's all I like to hear. That's what I want to hear.
Okay. So then, if you're looking for the things that you have in common with someone, are the things that you don't have in common okay? Like, are they deal breakers?
Yeah, no, I mean, so you know me now for quite a long time. I'm actually pretty, like, there's a couple things that are I'm real principled about, but outside of that, I'm very like, most things really aren't a big deal. And you know that. Matter of fact, you think that's like one of my faults, that I don't make everything a big deal.
But it's also one of the, it's interesting you say that, because it's also one of the things that I like about you, is that you are very laid back.
Yeah.
But then I don't like that you are very laid back. Right? Because again, that's when my nose was open. Oh, he just goes with the flow. He's just so easy breezy. You know, he don't have a plan. Now we got 2 kids and a mortgage, and I'm like, this dude don't take nothing serious. He don't have no plan. He don't write. Like you see what I'm saying?
It's
like
both.
How things just
Right. Right.
They
your biggest strength is also your biggest weakness.
Yeah.
And that's the way it is. So so I mean, are things deal breakers? Yeah, some things are deal breakers. Like
it may be a deal breaker for someone who, as a believer, meets a non-believer.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, I think, man, I can't wait till we get to that podcast. But because that kind of stuff is really weird to me. I at the essence of what religion is, it's about being loving and being forgiving. And so, it's really weird to me when people like can't get with somebody or be able to be on the same vibe with somebody just because they don't believe what you believe, whatever the principles are, love and forgiveness. So, but that set aside, I think that it's a weird deal whenever we make things like, because someone doesn't believe the same way that you believe outside of things like religion, just normal things like, I'm pretty laid back. You're more, we talk about all the time, you're more emotional. I'm less emotional. I like that in you, that you're emotional. And then you like it in me whenever I'm kind of laid back. But then there's times when you're like, man, Johnny, this needs to be a bigger deal for you. Like this,
it's like
this needs to be a
slap you across the face and then like, give me some feel.
Right. And then sometimes I'm like, Mary, you got to calm down. Like, it's going to be okay. You know what I mean?
It's funny, just to say that one of the things that we disagree on, since it was just the holidays, we, from the beginning, and we still have yet to settle this.
Oh.
Santa or no Santa?
Yeah, for me, I like Santa. I like old Santa Claus. I like him.
Uh-huh.
At the same
have you met
time,
him before? I mean, you've seen him?
I've seen him all over. Pictures.
You saw him on the roof?
I've seen him. I've seen a couple reindeer out here in Houston, Texas.
Okay, wow.
You know what I mean? I've seen them.
Where? At a
they're
company
there.
party with the headband on?
So, but at the same time, I do understand your idea with saying, listen, I work hard for what we give to our kids. We work hard for what we give to our kids. We need to let them know that we're the ones that give it to them. Right. And so.
They can't even read, but I wrote.
Old Sandy.
No, I wrote to Harper or to Grayson from Mom and Dad. Okay.
Hashtag Santa Claus.
This is why I know our next podcast we will segue into how it relates to our children, like how our beliefs relate to our children. Actually, one of our listeners asked us that, so I feel like it really will segue into that, because it's like, how do you don't see that in the beginning, or maybe you have to when you're, again, the first date.
First.
Well, for women, a lot of women, we start dreaming after that first. Because there is like a criteria. There are like checklists. Does he have all his hair? Well, in your case, no. Okay, I'll let you slide.
Back then, I was pretty close to having all my hair. I still cut my hair short, but I wasn't bald like this. Like now, I'm actually just going bald. You know what I mean?
You didn't have no hair.
Just like this.
It was just
like that. Same haircut that was 2000.
Wow. Yeah, it was
2005, right?
Yeah,
2005. So this is 2000. So 14 years ago, I had more hair, but it was the same length. I've had the same haircut since I cut my hair the one time.
Didn't have any hair, Jon. So all I'm saying is, women, there's a checklist.
Yes.
Of criteria. Does he have good credit? Is he good looking? You talked about attraction before, and all that stuff. Like, is he kind? Is he funny? Does he have a personality? Can he hold a conversation? And then we start thinking into the future. Like, will I want to look at him every day? After, will we be able to hold a conversation, past whatever?
Right.
Like, will we run out of things to talk about? And then when you get into it, then it's when your nose not open no more. Okay.
The nose closes, the smell goes away. all the smell
for
goes
real.
away.
It does actually go away. It does. Like you start to think about how will I make a life with this person?
Right.
How will we raise our children together? Like these are conversations I think should be had in the beginning. Especially for people who are, man. You think people should just figure it out in the end? You don't think here we go, no plan.
I'm just saying, because no plan. Like how odd would that conversation be? Let's just say it's not date number one, because I don't think that happens on date number one.
I bet it does for a lot of people who are tired of fooling around.
This is my advice, and y'all got to calm down.
No,
y'all
got to
relax.
Real conversation. Hey, don't waste my time. I can pay for my own meal.
Well, I mean, then again, we are talking about it as in our 30s people.
Yeah.
See, I'm in my 30s, right?
No.
So, but anyway,
not you.
What I'm saying is like, you definitely have to be able to have those conversations. But for example, let's take the Santa Claus thing real quick to get back to it. You don't think Santa Claus should exist. I'm like, whatever, it's not a big deal. In the end, when we have Christmas, do we have a great Christmas? Do our kids feel loved? Do they feel included? Are they happy with the gifts they get? Are we sharing the right principles around Christmas in terms of being around family and being grateful and being thankful for the people that you have and all that kind of stuff? What was that saying you told me that one time? It's not about what's under the tree. It's about who's around the tree.
I have never said that, but I will take it.
Man, isn't it great?
That's actually great.
That's a fantastic quote, right? It's not about what's under the tree. It's around who's around the tree. Mm-hmm. And so as long as we're getting that feeling of love and warmth, like the details aren't really that important.
Then let's X Santa out, because we don't bring Jesus into the Christmas.
Yeah, we don't. Yeah,
we don't tell them the story of Christ being born and things like that.
Right, we don't. Yeah.
So then why we gotta say Santa on the rooftops?
We don't have to. We don't have to. But
let's settle it here and now. What time is it? In January. I don't know what the date is.
If old Sandy comes up, I'm not gonna be like, oh my God, it's the worst thing ever. Sandy, he's never existed. Blah blah blah. Like it's not gonna be some like negative, it's whatever. It's like, oh, listen, Santa Claus, he comes down the chimney tree and
so you are gonna say he come down the chimney.
I'm gonna tell them the story of Santa Claus.
What's the story?
That Santa Claus is the one. If you're really nice throughout the year, this is the story, how the story goes. If you're really nice throughout the year, then Santa Claus runs around in a reindeer-filled sled, comes down your chimney and drops a gift underneath your tree. Now, it's not necessarily true.
What's
but it's
gonna
a good
happen
story.
when they find out that you lied?
No, I'm saying I'm gonna tell them that it's a story.
It's a fictional story.
Yeah, it's a fictional story.
But are you gonna explain what fictional means? That it's made up?
I mean, well, that's fine. Yeah, because look, in the end, whenever Santa Claus, like whenever I was growing up,
I think we just shouldn't say anything.
No, this is what happened. So whenever I was a kid, at some point, I think I walked in and saw my parents wrapping presents like most kids do whenever they find out Santa Claus is not real. And after that, I was like, hey, Mom, what's up with that, man? Like, where's Santa Claus? Where's he at? And she was like, oh, Santa Claus is more just like a story. It's really just a story about, you receiving a gift for being a good person throughout the course of the year. He's not real.
So what about people who can't afford gifts? Then those children, are they going to think that they weren't good?
No, that's why I said in the end, what actually matters is the feeling.
Not about the gifts.
It's not about the gifts.
I don't care anything about the gifts.
Right, it's not about the gifts.
I actually wish we get to a point where we don't do gifts at all.
Gifts are not gifts. There's nothing wrong with the story of what Santa Claus is, of him bringing gifts to kids who are good throughout the year. There's nothing wrong with the story. They can know that it's a story, and then like when my mom did, she would just write Santa Claus on it anyways. Like the one special gift, she would write Santa Claus on it. And that was her thing. If that's not going to be our thing, that's okay too. It doesn't really matter.
But we need to say what is and isn't going to be.
Why?
So that we all are on the same page. So like when Harper, we're already into the kids thing. I feel like we're already into the next episode.
Yeah, it's okay.
So when she comes to, she'll ask you for an ice cream cone.
Right.
If you go ask mommy.
Mm-hmm.
And then she'll just come to me and be like, Daddy said I could have ice cream. And you're like, that's not
which is amazing that she's already picked up that skill.
Unbelievable. So then if she says, Daddy says Santa is real, and I can hear her, let me go ask mommy.
Yeah.
And then she's gonna come to mommy. and mommy gonna spill all the beans.
I already said I'm not gonna say it. Tell her that
We gotta
Santa
be on
is
the same
real.
page, John. Unequally yoked.
Une-
So, Angelo, to answer your question,
right.
it can be done.
It can be done.
It can be done, but it's important to have conversations.
Yeah.
It's important to have the openness and willingness on each person's side
Right.
to talk about what you do believe in and what you don't believe in. And I think when you get to like the core values, like John was pointing out here, love, support, growth, like whatever your mission is, whatever your core values are, whatever it is about that person's inner, like, are they a good person? I think that is good enough.
That is all.
I said on the last
high
episode.
five.
And I have come to respect other people's differences because of the differences that we have. It really does just like open your mind.
Yeah.
Right? Because there's no way, because girls are dreamers, we grow up with fairy tales and all these things and these happily ever afters that, or whatever, they're fantasies. And then you meet somebody and you think they're supposed to fill that mold, and they're not. And it's like, you know what, but that's okay. Like he's actually better than I thought I would have.
Oh, I'll take that. I'll take that.
Because I didn't think I was going to be with a non-believer.
Right. I wouldn't have thought
I shouldn't have even liked you.
I wouldn't.
Really,
yeah.
But you're a nice person.
It's a nice person.
And I thought you were very, very smart.
Oh, that's important too.
Yeah.
I may have failed that by now.
Why you say that?
I may not be that smart after all these years. We never know. I'm just trying to make it.
You getting dumber?
I think
don't know.
I am.
All that 35 minutes on the toilet reading National Geographic, I would think.
Well, I am
that
full
you're
of.
getting
I am
smarter.
full of random knowledge. That I am full of.
This is true.
But actual intelligence, I don't know about that one. So, all of that said, I think, Angela, we have hopefully answered your question. It's possible. It's not necessarily you're going to find the right person that's going to be the same passion for the whole life, but it's good to find someone who's on the same principles and same ideas as you. So you see all the stuff about Santa Claus and all that. In the end, we know that we're going to do whatever we can to make sure that Grayson and Harper have a fantastic Christmas experience and just life in general. We know the most important thing is we're going to raise them to be good people. Yeah. And that's it. And that's so it.
Just be good humans.
Whatever that means, however that works out.
And again, when I go back to saying having conversations with your person, it's so important now that we've learned that it's less important about what you say about being right.
Yeah.
About, you always said it's less important to be right and it's more important to be happy.
Yeah.
But in those conversations, instead of trying to make that person see from your point of view, just listen. You may like something may come from it. And here we are still for real, like however many years later, and we are still talking about Santa. So that doesn't mean that you're going to figure it out right then and there. Yeah. It could be an ongoing thing, but guess what? It's just obviously not that serious. It's not a deal breaker.
It's not a deal breaker. And most things aren't.
What are deal breakers?
Well, I mean, you're talking about relationships. There's plenty of things that are deal breakers.
Other than like, abuse.
Yeah.
Those, yes, that's deal breakers. But what if you're on that first date, John, when you and I went to Papacitos? Yes. Okay.
And your breath stank.
Oh, wait a minute.
I'd have been out.
Not me. You're saying if that would. Wait a minute. I'm like, damn. You can't remember yesterday, but you can remember that somebody's breath stank in 2006. Okay. Rewind. Okay.
For the record, her breath did not stink.
Obviously not, because that's your deal
that's
breaker.
A deal breaker. That's
You're
a deal breaker.
Saying if had I met you at the Papacitos with stank breath.
Yes.
Stank breath is a deal breaker?
That's a deal breaker. That's
a deal breaker. Like, I never want to see this person again. Yes. Do you know how many people stank breath I have smelled?
You're not dating, you're not married to them, so
no.
There you go.
So, okay, stank breath is one of your deal breakers. What else, John?
This is the first date thing, right?
Sure.
Yeah, first date. So you can't have stanky breath, man. That's just a deal breaker.
Okay, so your deal breakers Or stink breath.
Stink
That's fine.
breath.
Okay, listen. The moral of the story is, Jesus, is that we just can't sweat the small stuff.
Yes.
And make them bigger things.
Correct.
So when you meet that person who hopefully does not have a
stink breath,
okay, and you're deciding, is this person going to be? Can I make them a part of my forever?
Right.
Right?
Yes.
It's not about, I mean, listen, you have to come up with your own stuff. All we're telling you is it can work.
It can work.
Just open your mind to all the possibilities, have conversations, be okay in those conversations. Try not to argue try not to be the right. Like, it's not about being right.
I will say that last thing we'll say about this on the things that are deal breakers. The only thing that's a deal breaker is whenever you are not being respectful of the other person. Mm-hmm. That's a deal breaker. Whenever you lose respect for somebody and you treat them without the respect that they're deserving of, then that can be a problem. And a lot of times we find ourselves, whenever we're getting into arguments, we start to lose respect for the other person, and that's whenever things can go wrong for people. So keep respect for the other person, keep respect for yourself. And if you do those two things and you don't try to be right all the time, then you can probably make it with most people and really even find happiness with most people. You just got to work for it.
There it is. So we're going to go into our Q&A real quick.
Okay.
Someone asked us, and we can save this answer for our next, I feel like it's a really good segue to our next podcast.
Okay.
Someone said, Mary, how does being unequally yoked translate into being parents? How do you decide how to raise your children when one person is a believer and the other is not? So we kind of touched on that a little bit with our Santa story that is a continuing lifelong
battle
thing. But we can talk about it more on the next podcast.
Yeah.
But let's end on our homework.
Homework.
I have a good one.
Oh, okay.
Because only reason why I want to do this homework, because I feel like this is the only way I can get John to do stuff now. Because now all of you guys are listening, even though he didn't do his vision board. He's gonna do it.
Gonna do it.
You're going to do it, sir. Okay.
Uh-oh.
I would like our homework to be. Okay. Never seen you do that before. Our homework is gonna be create a mission statement for our family.
Oh, that's cool. I'm good with that.
You down with that?
I'm down with that. That's
Let's
a good idea. That's
so
a good
you
idea.
guys, that's your homework. And just create a mission statement for yourself. It kind of goes along with your vision board.
Yeah.
And just saying, here are what my principles are. Here are what, even when you go on that first date, if you already know, like, this is what my mission in life is, because it's not going to change. Those missions, y'all look up what a mission statement is, like, for companies, for businesses. Yeah. Most of you guys, I'm sure, business owners have mission statements for your businesses.
Yeah.
We're working on our mission statement for our business currently, which is interesting that we don't have one for our household. You can definitely have both. So then you already know what your deal breakers are when you meet someone who does not meet those core values.
Rhinoceros breath, not acceptable.
Wow. There it is. You guys, thank you again for tuning in to Jon and Mary's Unequally Yoked. Follow us on our social media at Mary TJP.
And Jon Pierre TJP. And our Harper Rain Homes page. Harper Rain with an E Homes.
All the things.
All of it.
All the things.
Get into it.
See you guys next time. Bye.
Farewell.
Off the party serious.